How do you grade meat? Well, the first thing is you need to go to college because these people are highly educated and highly skilled at what they do. And we're glad they are because they're the ones that protect the health and welfare of the consumer. The first grade I want to talk about is the U.S. standard. They can be sold in grocery stores, and most of the time when they're in grocery stores, they carry the label and store name. They're low in fat content and usually are not very tender and not very expensive. The next grade is going to be U.S. Select. U.S. Select makes up the majority of the meat that you see in the counter. It's usually lower in fat. It's not as juicy or tender as the grades above it, but it's usually what you buy there. Because if it was choice, they would mark it as choice, and then they'd add a little bit of money to the price of it. The next is going to be U.S. Choice. It's also called restaurant cuts a lot of the time. U.S. Choice has a good amount of marbling in it and fat content. It's usually very tender and has a great texture to it. It's usually the preferred cut of most people. And of course, the top grade is U.S. Prime. It has a higher fat content than Choice. And to me, it's a little bit too much. For my preference, I like Choice. And only about 3% of all beef that's produced is prime. And the reason is because, that's just not something that you would eat every day. Kind of like the Wagyu or the Japanese Kobe, which are also higher and higher in the fat content. It's just not something you would do every day. Again, I'm a person who prefers choice. Now, the beef that comes from the 4J is high choice, but that's just my opinion. Let's go into the packing plant and talk to one of our guys and see what his opinion on this is. So the difference between prime and choice is the fat content, really. So when you're buying prime, you're buying more fat that you're probably not going to eat anyway. So isn't that the same thing with Wagyu?
Wagyu's a little different. It is pretty much, it's kind of the same because you're not going to eat Wagyu every day. I mean, who could afford to eat Wagyu every day? And it's a lot of fat, like a lot of fat.
Yeah. So really, choice is the way we need to be going.
I would say choice is like that's your medium right there in the middle.
Yeah.
You got fat and you got plenty of meat, and it's tender. That's really.
Yeah, it's got the right amount of marbling and everything.
Yeah, it's got just the right amount of marbling.
Because when you go to the grocery store, most of the stuff you're getting is select anyway. Yeah. And if it is choice, then it tells it's choice and they add $2 a pound to it.
Yeah, it's going to be extra.
Yeah, so what a racket. So at the 4J, the program that's designed here is designed to get high choice. So whatever cut of meat you like, let's go enjoy one.